Hey everybody, I'm Anna Duboc and I'm hanging out with Rob at Front Row Live.
What's up, guys? Rob here from Live Entertainment. I'm hanging out with Anna Duboc, and I'm excited to be sitting down here with you to talk about new music.
Yes, I'm excited too.
I really want to dive in and talk about just you kind of discovering your voice, discovering your voice, understanding how to really control and work your voice, but also at the same time, discovering how to songwrite.
Yeah, well, I started singing when I was really, really little. My mom says I came out of the womb singing. And I guess I've sung my whole life, so my voice has always been there. And my mom trained me when I was little. She was an opera singer, and I am really lucky to have been able to train with Eric Vitro, who does Ariana, Sabrina, these past few years. And I love working with him. And I think in terms of physically, my voice has definitely strengthened over the past few years, as well as my writing voice. I'd say I really just sort of found my sound, my niche in terms of writing recently, because I've been writing since I was 8. I wrote my first song when I was 8, and I was 8, so it wasn't a hit maybe, but I mean maybe it's a hit, but maybe, but yeah, my songwriting has definitely grown. I think just the more I write, the more I am figuring out my voice as a songwriter. And yeah, I love writing, so I've always done it.
It's interesting that you started at such a young age, because you also have to keep in mind that the voice starts to change. And so I'm sure that also changes the way that you write. And, you know, now you know, like, what are your comfort ranges and what are, you know, difficult ranges. What was that process like of kind of like growing up with your voice and learning to adjust to it as it kept asking for a change?
Yeah, well, I grew up in musical theater, so that's definitely a very different world than the pop voice or like the, you know, what you hear on records. And so when I first started writing, I would do a lot of very loud, belty songs, and there's nothing wrong with that. I loved doing them. But I, you know, recently I've been developing more of like the sound that isn't just like, I'm a musical theater, right. You know? And yeah, I think just adjusting my writing process so that not every song has to be huge. You know, obviously there's an arc to every song. There's always a story lyrically, and you have to tell it with your voice. But I think learning, you know, it's okay to be quiet. As weird as that sounds, like you don't have to show that you belt in every song, and I think it's more effective when not every song is like, you know.
How do you feel being quiet in your music? Like Lily, for example, you're on a more lower tone, more relaxed kind of tone. Like, does that feel more scary or scarier to you because there's more room to focus on your voice? There's more room for that shake, that rattle. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, Lily is a special case because it's such a delicate song and such a delicate topic that my voice has to be delicate with it. And I also wanted to do something that was in my higher register, because it's very much in that sort of, not necessarily opera at all, but like that higher operatic tone. And doing, I'd say doing quieter singing it's not daunting or scary necessarily, but it's something because I didn't grow up doing it. Like I grew up singing and doing all kinds of singing, and my mom trained me with what she, you know, did in her opera things as well as her jazz. Growing up doing the, you know, belty musical theater, the in your face it's definitely, I have to think about it less because I did it for years. And even though I've done this sort of softer voice, you know, naturally, I'd say it's more naturally my tone. It's because it's still sort of new, and I've only really started writing with it and doing it consistently the past, I want to say 6 years, which is a long time, but it's definitely not, 19 years.
Right.
I have to focus a little bit more, I would say. Yeah.
So the fact that you have these kind of different voices, different characters in your voice and your sound, and then you are about to release a new single, Toxin. So going into that creative process for the new track, like, do you think about these characters ahead of time, or do you let the writing kind of begin and then you figure out like what characters, what tones, what ranges you want to hit with this?
I'd say I let the writing dictate it. I don't really go in thinking like I'm gonna sing in this specific tone today. Sometimes I do if I'm feeling angry. I go into a writing session or if I'm writing on my own, I will just sort of see where the melody wants to go based on the lyrics, or the other way around. But I never really go into it with like, I'm gonna belt right here. I'm gonna be super quiet right here. I'm gonna, because the voice is really just one big instrument. So I like to play around with it. Yeah,
that's good. That's good. And I feel like it sounds like you feel comfortable with just doing wherever it leads you.
Yeah, I do. It's fun to see how lyrics and melody affect literally how you're singing and what you're physically doing with your body.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. When it came to this upcoming song, August 7th is the release date for Toxin. When it came to this song, what really kickstarted that writing process? Was it an idea? Was it a melody? Was it a particular lyric? What was that?
Toxin came from one specific lyric, actually. I was in the studio with the producer, and he started playing, chord progression. I was like, oh, maybe switch this chord, maybe switch that chord. And as that was going on, I had this lyric idea, which is the first lyric of the chorus, so it's already out there, so not a spoiler, sorry. Where it's, speak of the devil, you walk right in. And it's like, from that, I was thinking, well, maybe I want this whole song to be sort of like, there are good parts and bad parts to a relationship, and I can't tell which one I want to listen to. I don't know if I want to listen to the angel on my shoulder or the devil on my shoulder, but who cares, because I like it. And it all started from that lyric.
And so you dive into writing the whole song. Talk to me about vocally. How did you kind of challenge yourself again this time around? Like, what did you do differently?
It's definitely in a softer tone. And it's a new tone for me, I'd say, because I musically the thing, I grew up having to be loud, I guess. And also when you're small, you kind of have to be loud, and I'm very short, so I have to be loud. But I was just like, I should let me sing it and let me try it this way, and this way. And I was asking the person I was working with, hey, which one do you like better? And he was like, actually, I kind of like that sort of softer in the middle tone. And I was like, okay, I can, let me do this. It's new, but I want to work on it, and I want to see how it sounds. And it ended up sounding really, really good. And it wasn't hard to sing. It was just, I was sort of fighting the urge to do what I'm used to, and but it ended up great, and I love doing that, and I love this sort of tone that I've found. It's a very pop tone.
Now that you've recorded it, obviously, like, the song's finalized, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So now that you've recorded it, you've heard it for the very first time, now when you think about that vocal tone, do you feel comfortable singing it, or do you feel like it's still something that you're like trying to get comfortable with?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel comfortable in it. I've just gotten to a place where I'm so comfortable with my voice that I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna it's almost like not separate entity from myself, but it's like I'm just gonna let you
take
go.
The wheel.
I'm just gonna let whatever you do, I'm just gonna trust it. I'm just gonna trust my voice, because obviously I control my voice, but it's like I've gotten to a point where I go, I've trained so much, and I've done this for so long, and I'm like, I'm gonna make sure my body and my training is still there, and I'm still paying attention, but I just sort of trust it now. Yeah.
How would you say that, like, the theater, the theatrical music that you're used to doing or singing. How would you say that helped you kind of be a better artist, better vocalist?
Better vocalist, I would say just growing up singing, the more you sing, the better you get. And when you're doing musical theater, you have to practice all the time with rehearsals and with shows and with all that. And so I think just getting in the groove of singing all the time definitely was helpful.
Yeah.
And in terms of my artistry, I don't know. I think I love storytelling, and that comes with songwriting, but I think it definitely stems a little bit from the theater because I love musical theater, and I love watching theater. I love being in theater, and it's such a beautiful way to tell stories, and it's beautiful to see on stage, and it's like, whoa. And so I think if I ever have when I have
there we go
one day, a big tour or something, I think I would definitely I would have some sort of, you'd be able to tell like, oh, she did theater as a kid, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's exciting because I feel like once that stage, or those like you said, those tours happen, the stage happens, you're going to shine even more than you already are with your music. This song, Toxin, is part of a potential body of work. Like, it's just more releases that you're working on. So I'm curious, like, as far as like new direction of music, like, where do you feel that you are in this like new era of music that you're creating? Or who do you feel you are in this new area?
I'm in a very transitional stage, or I sort of just got through a transitional stage, graduating high school, and I'm going to turn 20, and that's like, I don't like that. But I think, yeah, it's been good for my music because as you grow in how you work and how you express yourself creatively. And I think as I've grown, I've sort of more solidified, number one, who I want to be and how I want to act and how I want to, be around other people, but also how I want other people to see, I'm sorry, I just hit the mic, how I want other people to see me.
Yeah.
And I think when I was younger, you go through different phases. You go through like, I want people to see me as like a little grunge, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not, look at me. Like,
it's just the time and place.
Yeah, like that's not something I stuck to for very long. But yeah, so I think as I've grown, and especially the past year or two, I've been solidifying who I am and therefore who I want people to see.
That's good. And we're excited to see how that kind of evolves as more music comes out. You get to do something that not every 20-year-old gets to do. You get to celebrate your birthday on doing your own show.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. You're going to be at the Mint on August 28th.
Yes.
So I'm sure Toxin will be a song that will be performed, but I'm sure maybe it's a good time to test the waters with stuff that you might be working on. What excites you most about this upcoming show, besides the fact that it's your birthday?
Yeah, well, my birthday's 2 days later, but I'm telling people that instead of a gift, get a ticket. You know, come to my show, guys. Yeah, I love the Mint. I've performed there a few times, and I'm really excited to do this again with a new, some new songs that haven't been announced, songs that maybe on this new body of work. And I don't know, I'm just excited because I've done the Mint before and I've done shows before, but I've never really been able to that's the wrong word. I've never been able to perform a set that's like, this is 100% my sound, and I feel like this is each day and each show, it's like, it's getting closer to exactly what my sound is, and exactly to who, I want people to be like, oh, that sounds so much like on a Duboc, and yeah, that's why I'm excited for this one, because I love most of the music I've put out. It's just because, you grow up and you're like, ew, why did I write that? But some of those songs, I'm like, well, they don't really represent me now. And also I'm thinking like, well, I could have switched this lyric. Like, why'd you say that? You're 12. Like, stop. But yeah, I'm excited to show new stuff and kind of who I am and who I'm becoming.
Well, maybe you could look back at those older songs and just write the older version. Like,
I could.
I think
Idea.
the fans might like that.
Idea. That's a thought.
Yeah,
I like that.
There you go. Who knows? Coming soon, maybe. I don't know.
Honest version.
There you go. The honest version.
Instead of Taylor's version.
What I truly wanted to say. Well, I'm excited for what's to come with you. I'm excited for Toxin to release August 7th. By the time you guys watch this interview, it'll be out. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys, please be sure to check her out at the Mint August 28th. Check out the new single Toxin. And thanks for hanging out here on Front Row Live.
Yeah.